Welcome back to the Adulthood Pod, Volume 94, Sunday, January 26th. We had to get out the way early because last one we forgot to introduce till the end.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah, we're back. As you see, I'm in my captain era. We're still catching up because we hadn't recorded in over a month, so we still catching up on all the stuff we did. And as you know, I went on a cruise. I was on a cruise.
How was that?
I went on a family cruise. At starting the new year. It was 15 of us. 15 of us, which getting that many people on the same accord is very difficult.
That's very difficult.
Especially family. But 15 of us went on a 9-day Norwegian cruise.
Wow.
Now, you been on a cruise?
Not since I was a little sailor.
Yeah, where'd you go? Do you remember?
Just the Caribbean, like the Bahamas. My grandfather was actually a captain of a ship.
He was?
Yeah. So he was
like a cruise ship?
So it's a long story, but he was actually the first African captain to cross the Atlantic for Black Star Line. And then when he retired, he was like, I can't give up sailing. So then he used to be a captain of a cruise ship, a cruise line.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Yeah.
It's like Captain Phillips.
Yeah, that's why I have a ship on my arm.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
For my grandfather.
Well, I hadn't been on a cruise in over 10 years. The last time I went on a cruise, it was about 2012, I want to say, 2013.
Okay.
And I went with my girlfriend at the time, and it was Royal Caribbean. And that's when I learned the truth about cruises, which is people think that cruises are going to be so great, but the truth is the cruise is really only as good as the people you go on it with.
Bling.
If you go on it with 5 of your funnest friends, you will have a fun time. If you go on it with your partner who's boring, then you're not gonna have a good time. That's just what cruises are. So I was hesitant to go on a cruise, but my family, they wanted to get away, they wanted to get a vacation, so they planned one. We planned it like 6 months ago, So we decided to go 9 days. I was worried about my previous cruise was only 4 days.
That's a long
9 days is a long time.
That's a long time.
I mean, I was a sailor. I'm like Popeye the Sailor Man.
Wow.
Come on, Johan. Thank you. So yeah, I 9 days. Leaving out of Miami.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
We flew to Miami. And got on the boat in Miami. It was hitting 5 islands. Or it was. I'll say that it was Dominican Republic and Puerto Plata. It was San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was Antigua. It was St. John's.
Ooh.
Yup.
And
Vincent?
and Barbados.
Ooh.
That's a good ass time.
Yeah, Homeriana. And you know me, like I got on the boat, you know me, I get on a boat, I want to go speak to the captain, I want to let him know I'm here, hey, I'm in, this is my room, I'm a comedian, if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask.
Frozen drinks.
Yeah, I'll be there, whatever. So there's a thing on the boat where you could take a tour of the boat. So you could just learn like the intricacies of the boat. And I wanted to do this.
What?
Titanic.
You don't want to know these things?
I know where the casino is. I know where the bars are.
Yeah, but I wanted to know where the engine was. I want to know how do you dispose of the shit.
Yeah. Right.
You know, this is the stuff that I want to know.
Discovery Channel stuff.
Yeah, Discovery Channel stuff, right? So I went to sign up because I wanted to do a whole tour of the boat. I wanted to go meet the captain, let him know I'm a comedian, HBO special, whatever. And it was booked. I couldn't get a slot.
You couldn't do the tour?
Yeah, I couldn't get a slot.
Man.
And I tried to, I was like, have you heard of Jimmy Fallon? And they were like, no, we never heard of him. So I couldn't get nothing, right? So what I did was, first of all, when you're on a boat, you don't have phone service
At all.
I mistakenly bought the Wi-Fi. Take a guess. What do you think Wi-Fi on a boat costs for 9 days?
Is it a bulk price or a daily price? I'm gonna say $20 a day.
It's a bulk price. Give me the bulk price.
$180.
$350.
Damn it.
I wanted to throw myself off the balcony when I paid that price. $350. But I thought I would need it because I was in the mix of editing the special.
$350?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought I was in the middle of editing the special, and I thought that they would be sending me stuff back and forth that they would need urgent reply with. Plot twist, they don't send me anything till literally the night before we dock.
Oh, man.
So I didn't need it at all. Complete waste of time and money. But $350, and I bought I had the streaming package. So, they didn't want to give me the tour of the boat. So what I did was I went on YouTube and I went on a deep dive to learn about the boat, right? So I became an expert on the boat. So the next day I was at lunch and I was like, oh, do you know that this boat was designed in 2013, but then it got sent back because it was getting remodeled because, I knew stuff. And people like it when you know stuff, you know? People are like, oh, he knows stuff. I found out that the cruise industry, I didn't know this. I was never a fan of cruises. I'm still not. You know? If you go on a cruise with a fun group of friends, you're gonna have fun. It's casinos, it's open bar. Like, what's there not to have fun about? It's gonna be fun. The cruise industry is apparently like some evil empire, which I didn't know about.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah, apparently they they
kidnap
underpay
people?
their employees. They basically it's like modern day slavery with their employees because they get them from like Indonesia and pay them and they pay them like $2 an hour, but they make tips and stuff. But it's that they're very bad for the environment. They pollute the earth. They just dump tons of shit into the ocean, which isn't illegal somehow, which is kind of crazy.
That's crazy.
So the cruise industry is very frowned upon, but.
Not from the commercial.
Yeah, I didn't know because I'm used to seeing the commercial. I was like in the commercial, I see Donald Duck and
water slides.
Yeah, and water slides, and I see the cartoons. Coming in with the Mickey Mouse ears. So I thought that's what it was.
Doing one of these numbers.
Yeah, no, but it's not that. It's all a lie.
That's crazy.
It's all a lie. 9 days, long time.
That's a long time
to be around family.
And did you have your own like cabin, your own room?
Oh yeah, I like to show off in front of my family. So I got a room that was 5 floors above theirs.
Thank you.
With a balcony.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Was it worth it? No. But not at all. But knowing that you're above your family is nice.
Okay, all right.
That's nice.
Definitely want to make sure you establish that.
Right, right. So that was nice. Completely overpaid for no reason. Damn. Not worth it at all. Complete waste of money. But 9 days. You gotta really know your family.
Yeah.
And you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. If you know what I mean.
I understand completely.
You have to know when to take some time away. If you need time away.
Yeah.
Can you take time away on a cruise?
Yeah, you can.
Is it big enough?
The cruise is so big.
It's a
you could go
city?
missing. Huh? You could go missing and no one will know. Huh? You could literally go missing. Like there was like some days where I didn't see most of them. You're
an expert.
Yeah, because the way it works is we left from Miami. It's like one day you're at sea, next day you're at an island, next day you're at sea. Then we did 3 islands in a row. Next day we at sea. So there's some days where the boat doesn't dock. You're just on a boat. People love cruises.
Oh yeah,
they love it.
Buffets, right?
Huh?
It's big on the buffets. The buffet. Yeah. The buffets is crazy.
Yeah, I was going to dinner because they have restaurants too.
Okay.
So I was going to dinner just at the restaurants because I was so tired of the buffet. But you see people at a buffet, man, they just act like, I don't know, like they've never seen food.
Yeah.
They just, and I mean, the boat is expensive to get on. So I know that you got to have money to get on the boat.
When it comes to free food, man, people
what is that about?
They just lose their mind. I used to be one of those people.
Really?
I still kind of am.
But you could eat. But why you look so excited?
Because it's food, man. It's free food. It's free gourmet food. I must imagine. Was it gourmet? Or was it chicken tenders? Either way,
it was a bunch of Indonesian niggas cooking shit behind the thing. I don't know if it was gourmet.
I'll go crazy for some chicken tenders if it's buttermilk.
You know what? They didn't have chicken tenders on the whole ship.
No.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yo, fly me out.
Yeah, that's like chicken for one.
They had wings, they had fries, they had an Irish bar on the boat, Irish pub that stood open 24 hours, that had food 24 hours. That was nice.
Smart.
Yeah.
That was nice. But they had wings, they had burgers, they had glizzies.
Whoa.
They had that's it. I couldn't find a chicken finger on the whole
That's crazy.
On the whole
terrible.
boat.
I would have got the helicopter to get me out of here.
Yeah.
So what's the reputation of Norwegian cruises? Because I've only been on one in my life and it was Carnival and I
ghetto.
Will not be back. Norwegian was?
No, Carnival was ghetto.
It was.
That's the spirit? That's the spirit of the cruise line?
I'll never forget my
seas.
No.
I'll never forget my 5 days there.
Yeah, no, Carnival is the #1 cruise line in the world.
And it was, I'll never forget it.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, the trip, first of all, we ported out of Jacksonville, Florida. So that should just tell you classy start to a classy trip. 1. Yeah. We had just gotten in the pool on day 1, like cleared security, put our bags in our rooms, got in the pool. 2 65-year-old women get in the pool, take their tops off, just drinking Miami Vices. One spills it in the pool. This is like
titties out.
Yeah, day one.
We're still at you're still at land.
Right. Yeah, we haven't even left yet.
Yeah.
A lot of dads on vacation trying to find a mate for the night in our group.
In your group?
And this is my senior year spring break of college.
They were. See, here's the thing though. There's not a lot of single women on boats generally. So you was a group of 5.
We were a group of 8.
Yeah, so you were a hot ticket.
You were the jackpot.
Yeah.
Heard that.
Yeah. So it was what? Men trying to sleep with you?
I mean, there were just dads who we would see with their family who were doing a round of blackjack before they went to bed, looking for some accompaniment.
Some trim.
How would they word that? How would they?
I don't
like
feel comfortable saying. Well,
no, you got to let it out now. We're intrigued.
What?
What?
No, I mean like explicit things, like wanting to hook up in the bathroom. Like I won't go in. No,
at the blackjack table?
At the casino.
You're not even on camera. Why can't you say it?
Because
this is nuts.
I just want to know what they're saying. This is our listeners want to know too.
It's gross. No.
Yeah, they want to hear this. I feel like.
Can you type it?
You put it in a Word doc.
Yeah, whisper it to Johan and let Johan say it.
Let him say it.
He hasn't spoken in 90 minutes. Let him get a word.
Right?
No,
you can text us.
No, I honestly, I'm not asking you just to hear you say girl stuff. I'm asking you because I'm interested to see what these 65-year-old men think would seduce girls on spring break.
There's no seduction. It's just asking for services, I would say.
Like a beach in the bathroom?
Yeah. Or
are they saying that they're paying or?
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Can I what?
Stop, I'm not saying it. But yeah, anyway, it was ratchet. Somebody got arrested
on the boat
when we got back to port. There was a girl from Auburn whose hair was like neon white and she was behaving as you would imagine kind of on the cruise.
She went skiing?
Well, she was definitely doing a ton of blow. And like got in a huge fight with her boyfriend. They're throwing shit at each other in the dining room. It was incredible content to say the least, but I won't be back. So is Norwegian classier than that, or are all cruises the same level of ratchet?
Norwegian is classier than that. It was none of that. It
was more expensive.
I was with a classy group. It was no fights, nobody solicited blowjobs in the bathroom.
No coke.
No white hair. It was a lot of white hair, but just natural. They were all in their 70s.
Yeah.
Heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cruises are generally older people. Carnival though skews a little younger, and it's a problem. When it's younger, it's a problem because they're problematic. Young people are problematic.
Were there 70-year-old tatas out in the pool before you left?
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? It was. You go in the middle of January. It's not that hot.
Yeah.
There were people in the pool, whatever, but it wasn't that hot. Like it was nights where you felt comfortable in a hoodie.
In a hoodie, you need a jacket.
Like walking through the back.
I also am like, what night did you port out of Miami? Because I was down there for a few nights.
Port in Miami.
Thursday of 2 weeks ago. Thursday.
I'm like, we literally might have been in Miami the same night. I had a wild night on South Beach.
Hold on. I thought you went for like spiritual retreat to do your planning for 2025.
So it was a solo retreat for myself, but I had been journaling, doing all my planning all day. And then at night, I took 2 days solo between my family and then my friend's New Year's trip in Miami. And I went out alone. Have you guys seen White Lotus season 2 where they're like in Italy at the resort?
That's the one with, what's his name? Iron Man?
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, there were these 2 girls. I went and got myself a martini to get the night started alone at a bar.
Sure.
There were these 2 beautiful, I'm assuming Cuban girls. Like they just like their energy was Cuban.
Their energy was Cuban.
What?
What does that mean?
I don't know. They were hot. I don't know how else to put it. Yeah. It was a compliment. But they're walking around this bar hustling men. So we're at a cocktail bar. There's a ton of single dudes there. There's a ton of single women there. I'm sitting at the bar. I'm a bystander. These girls would target 2 men at a time, go up to them, immediately start flirting, complimenting, what do you do, blah, blah, blah. After you know it, they've got a free round of drinks. And I couldn't figure out what the exchange was, but every time they'd go into the bathroom with these guys to do like, I'm assuming a line of Coke. And then they'd come out and every time the men would send them money on their phone. And so I'm like, were they tricking them into paying them for drugs or what was going on in the bathroom? But they did it with like 4 different groups of guys.
Wow.
I'll tell you what they were doing. They were tricking them for paying them for a blowjob in the Miami bathroom.
You think?
Possibly. How hot were these women?
They were gorgeous.
And how
Like 10s?
hideous were these dudes?
I think all women are beautiful. I'm like, I don't know. They were what?
That's a t-shirt.
Okay. They were like, I'm not going to rate women, but they were gorgeous.
To sell you in Brooklyn.
What?
I said, well, then I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn.
But anyway.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, so see, this is my thing. I don't fall for this. Well, why do
These men are corny. I'm like, you guys are idiots.
I don't know if they're falling for it. I think they just have the money and they're like, sure, we'll give you whatever, a couple $100 to hang out with you. We don't care.
Okay.
I don't think they're stupid to think. Well, some of them are though. I don't think they're stupid to think that they're being like
played.
I mean, some of them. I mean, they know. Some of them know they're being played. Some of them don't. Some of them leave their wives and come back home like, no, I got this new Cuban girl that loves me in Miami.
Yeah, and all I have to do is send her $100,000 every 3 days.
So they would just leave the girl, like the girls would just leave them.
And then the girls would leave them. These guys would be kind of left in the bar like, okay, what are we now? Like they lost interest and then they just go to the other side of the bar and start running the same hustle.
Dang.
Yeah, they might have been
it was great. It was a great solo drink. Like I felt like I was in a TV show.
They're professionals.
Yeah.
You're the one they should have been talking to.
The girls?
No, the guys.
Oh.
Because I always think that like a single girl is way easier to talk to than like a group that just wants drinks. You're just minding your business. You just want a martini.
I did end up making out with a musician in the band at the bar.
I could see it.
You smelled it.
What?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the martinis.
I know Carmen.
And the martinis too.
How did that
classy.
happen?
Yeah, wait a minute.
So it was just like a
Was he black? Because I know how you do.
Especially
no,
in Florida.
he wasn't.
He was Cuban?
He was, no, I think he was probably like half white, half Hispanic of some sort.
Okay, that's definitely Miami.
Argentinian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was sexy.
Did he have a
but
lith?
That's Spain.
Oh, no, Argentina too.
Wow. No, I didn't notice a lisp. That's good to know. But he definitely, I think Spanish was his first language. I couldn't tell. Anyway, he was just sexy. And there was this band playing. I looked great. I was like I took myself out to a nice dinner, whatever.
Were you wearing a dress?
No, I was wearing a skirt and heels and like a crop top.
So you was Miami'd out.
You was super Miami.
Yeah, I was there for 2 nights by myself. This was my treat to myself.
Yeah. There you go.
And so I was just like eyeing him. And then when they went on a break, he came to the bar and ordered me a drink and bing, bang, boom. And then he went up and continued his set and I continued with my night.
What do you mean when you say, just for the listeners, for clarity, when you say bang, bang, boom?
Oh, just like we kikied, we talked for a little bit and then ended up kissing randomly. It was just good tension.
This is fascinating to me. I've never kissed anyone at a bar. No, I have class. But
Los Ojos.
I don't understand how this like you come over in intermission and make out with a girl at the bar?
Los Ojos.
Am I doing things wrong?
No, it's just like I wasn't expecting it, obviously. Like this was
what kind of music were they playing?
Jazz.
I love jazz.
Me
but
too.
Did he lean in? Did you lean in? What are we talking?
Did he put a hit?
He leaned in first, but we were both feeling it. Like I was super attracted to him. Like I couldn't take my eyes off him. When the girls were in the bathroom, aforementioned hustlers were in the bathroom, I needed another form of entertainment. So I was watching the band. And I made it very clear to him that I was watching him very specifically.
See, here's my problem. I think sometimes women think they make it clear to me, but I don't be knowing. And then they'll be like, they'll send me like a message later on and be like, I grabbed your penis. I thought you would know. And I was like, oh, I thought that was like, I thought you were being funny.
First of all, ma'am, it's 2025. You can't even look in the woman's direction the wrong way.
Right.
You get kicks.
I'm mad respectful.
Yeah.
See, I think eye contact's one of the last things that y'all have got because I'm so turned off to I don't know, like lines or like guys coming up shooting some line at you is like so unattractive. I'm like, if you're making intentional eye contact, like if I'm looking at you and I'm like this, I'm like, okay, that is like an unspoken like, but we know what's going on.
That could be misleading because sometimes it's like, is she looking at me like, because I'm from New York, is she looking at me like, what the fuck are you looking at?
You know when it's different.
I don't. This is my problem.
He just said it.
See, Ian, I think you're missing a lot of opportunities though.
I think if they look at you and they don't,
hey, your eyes on the bar.
I think if they look at you and they smile, like and keep looking at you,
Yeah, that's
then
All right,
I
give
feel
me
like
the eye
that's
contact,
cool.
Carmen. Let's see it.
I'm not.
what if
giving
they
you the eye
smile?
contact. Hell no.
What if they
No.
smile and then they actually like laugh like this guy thinks he's
Let's
dressed
see
nice?
the
I don't know
eye
if I'm-
contact.
What? I haven't had a martini.
Where's the
But
bartender?
I make it known. That's like one of my biggest tools. Is I'm like, I will look you in the face. Yeah, it served me well.
But I don't know. I beg to think, I beg to differ, and I think that you might imagine that you're being clear, but it's not always coming off as clear. Maybe this time it did because you was talking to some perverted, bass player in Miami. But
Drummer.
generally speaking,
Drummer.
but generally speaking, that's even worse. The drummer's worse, but generally speaking, I don't think it comes as clear as some women think it does.
It doesn't.
Like
It definitely doesn't.
I've had sometimes where I think, but also sometimes I like if I've had women look at me and I'm like, do they just know who I am? Like have they just seen my stuff?
Okay, yeah, that's true.
That happened to me, by the way. That happened to me on the cruise, on the boat. What's up, adulterers? New year, new tour. Well, kind of. I'm going back on the road this year. I have to build a whole new act. So if you want to come see me and help me build the new show, I'm going to be in Charlotte from the 23rd to the 25th of January at Duckworth's. And I'm going to be in Side Splitters in Tampa, February 7th and 8th. And at the Denver Comedy Works, February 13th, 14th, and 15th. Tickets are at ianlaralive.com or at punchuplive.com/ianlara. I was when we stopped in Puerto Plata, everybody went out, that was the first stop off the boat. So we had been on the boat for like 48 hours. So when we got on land, everyone was like, oh, finally we got on land, whatever. Everybody ran off to do whatever they were going to do. But this wasn't my first rodeo. Like, me, I'm a Virgo. I study everything. I look up at the sky. I lick my finger. I tested the wind.
Moisture.
I was like, I felt moisture. I think rain is coming. And everyone was like, are you crazy? No rain is coming. They pulled up the forecast. I took 2 smells. I said, rain is coming.
There's a dew.
Right. So I went and I sat at the bar and I ordered a drink. I kid you not, 20 minutes later, downpour.
And everybody's
What?
Downpour. I got the best seat in the house. I'm at the bar. I own the bar. I'm making jokes with the bartender. I'm like, hey, Dominicano. Blah, blah, blah. He's high-fiving me. He got a guida. We doing all the things. Downpour starts. Everybody runs into the bar. I'm like, I told you guys that it was dewy outside.
I said it.
Nobody wants to listen to me.
Nobody.
So I'm sitting at the bar, and there's this family next to me. It's a girl, late 20s, I imagine. Her dad, mom, her sister, and a black guy, random black guy. Which, by the way, the dad, that was her sister's fiance, the black guy. So the dad was like, to me, he was like, it's my my son-in-law.
my son-in-law.
And I was like, okay.
He's letting you know I'm down.
Yeah, he's like, just so you know.
That's
This
some
one's-
shit my dad would do.
This one's mine. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
He's with us.
Yeah. He's like my daughter's son-in-law, so I get it. BLM. I'm like BLM.
Automatically.
Right. I'm just trying to drink Mama Juana.
Yeah.
You like Tupac?
Yeah. So yeah. He's like he likes NBA
Jay-Z?
too. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. So I started doing my family comes too because again it's the downpour.
Pouring.
The thing. I laugh at all of them. I told you guys are all idiots. I'm smarter than you. I'm more successful. I said all the things you say to your family. and then I ordered a bunch of shots of Mama Juana and we start doing Mama Juana shots. He's
Hell yeah.
like, oh, what are you guys drinking? We like, Mama Juana or whatever. He's you know what Mama Juana is.
Yeah.
He's like, do you know what it is?
Yeah, I had a Dominican coworker at my first job.
Dominican Viagra.
And we had it like at a holiday party. He brought it.
Yeah.
And
Was
it
You
the
take
real
shot
two
of-
people got fired.
Was it the real stuff?
They
Yeah,
got
he
too horny?
because he made it. Or
Yeah, you make it.
With
Yeah,
the, with the, oh,
with the
with the
rhubarb.
special bottle or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, you had the, yeah.
People got too horny?
Yeah, I mean, again, 4 people hooked up, 2 groups of people hooked up, 2 people got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys know.
It was the real
So
stuff.
we were all drinking marijuana. The white guy's like, oh, Mama Juana. And then, he's like, he asks his black son-in-law, Mama Juana? He's like, I never heard Mama Juana. So I explain him what it is. So we do a shot together. I get up, I go to the bathroom. Now my brother-in-law, who's a white man, they have no fear. White men, they'll say anything to anyone, no matter what, especially after a couple shots of Mama Juana. So I get up to go to the bathroom. My brother-in-law you know, he sees other white people, he gets excited because he's tired of being with black Dominicans for so long on the
9
boat.
days,
Right. So he goes, he starts telling them like, hey,
Seinfeld? Oh, I'm sorry.
he's like, do you guys watch comedy or whatever? And you know, yeah, I know George Carlin. They started naming comedians that died 30 years ago. And he's like, oh, he's talking about me. He's like, oh, he's a comedian or whatever. He got an HBO special. He's been on a Tonight Show. He just filmed his new special. And then the daughter of the guy was like, yeah, I knew who he was. I just didn't want to say anything. Like I was trying to, she was just sitting there quiet.
Respectful.
Yeah, she was like just sitting there quiet. She's like, I just didn't say anything, but I knew who he was. I seen his stuff. I think that he's really funny. So when I came back, they told me that. But I say that whole story to say, she might have been giving me the eye, but it wasn't in a sexual way. It was just like, oh, I've seen his stuff. I've seen his comedy. He's funny.
But she could also be like, oh, I've seen his stuff and he's hot and I'm on vacation and interested.
And I just
With
had
my
a Mama
white dad
Wanna
who
shot.
likes
And I
black
just had a
guys.
Mama Wanna shot.
With my white dad who likes black guys.
We all seen Get
Right.
Out.
So he's
So it's like perfect.
yeah.
Right.
It's a party. We all seen Get Out.
He's looking to grow the family.
See, but how would I know this?
Teacup.
Without...
Ian, I really think I haven't seen you out on the town, but I think you're closing yourself off to opportunities.
Well, I don't go out on the town. I'm a working guy who's off the streets.
Teacup.
You don't need to be on the streets. You just got to go to when you're working on your next material, bring a notebook, go have a martini at a bar, wear the shirt that you wore
Well,
to
then I'm
your
going to have
special.
men approach me.
Especially if that hat.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
with that-
They're gonna
You
think-
can't be wearing that hat.
You
That's
can't
for
wear
sure.
that
Yeah,
hat.
that's step
Definitely not.
one.
Well, on the boat, the hat was a hit.
Not in Chelsea.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
On the boat,
In
I mean,
Chelsea is going to be a big hit.
people would see me on the boat. People would see me and they're like, you know, Captain.
Aye, aye,
you know,
Cap.
Aye, aye. And I'm like, you know, the seas are rough. I was
Yeah.
saying things like that
Yeah.
that I heard on SpongeBob.
Yeah. You know he helped Gilligan get off the island.
Again, your wife could have been on the Norwegian cruise
And you didn't
just-
even know it.
Yeah, fumbled.
But I feel that why not just speak up?
You know how fun your
Do you
wedding is
speak
going to
up?
be?
Or you just look? He got to come speak to you.
No, and it's weird because obviously I'm like a pretty forward person, but no, I like a man to approach me, to be honest. I'm like pretty traditional in that way. So I think if you're questioning eye contact, I'm like, you're good looking and successful. Go over and shoot your shot. And if she loses it, fuck her. That's her loss.
Yeah, that's fair.
What was the drummer's first line when he came up to you?
God, that's a good question.
You remember?
He literally asked me what I was drinking and he ordered me a martini. And then I was like, now I'm interested.
Are you sure to say, you like my snare?
You know, I
I would have been out. If that was, no.
I don't think that I'm not a big buy a random stranger a drink guy. I don't go to bars to meet people though.
I think that's where I'm like, do you write on your computer or with a notebook?
I write wherever I get the idea. Usually I
your phone?
write a bunch of ideas on my phone and then I'll sit down with a notebook and
Well,
hash
next
them out.
time, okay, well, this is even more attractive. I'm like, if I'm at a bar and you're you wearing your shirt from your special, which you all will see it soon, the outfit was impeccable.
Oh, thank you.
You're sitting.
That came down to the last minute, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That was my friend's first note. She was like, he looks so fly. Like it was the perfect.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. I was worried about that because I had like 4 outfit choices
I thought you were going to go with the red leather.
and we had to make sure it looked good on camera.
No, it was the shirt was super cool. But I'm like, you're wearing your shirt from your special. You're writing and drinking a cocktail. This is a man with a brain, worldly. He's maybe got some money in his pocket. He's comfortable sitting alone in a not creepy way. Like he's here working
Not
on
creepy
something
is key.
creative. I'm gagged.
Yeah.
This could be your shot.
No, I mean, I would
not
love to
keeping
gag a
this
woman, but I think that I find that white women generally will shoot their shot way before any other race.
I believe that.
I don't think like a black woman is not going up to you. A Spanish woman is not going up to you. Generally speaking,
Depends.
We've all had situations.
I'm
where they
so
might have.
washed, so I don't even remember these stories, you know?
We also have obviously I've had situations where that has happened, but I'm speaking generally. Generally speaking, I've had more black women be like, I was never gonna come up to you. Like I'd rather die alone than to say hello.
Damn.
Too prideful.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And Hispanic women too. But white women will go up to you like, you know.
In what instances though? Because alcohol definitely does push them towards like, you know, you getting fondled without them even saying
White
a
women?
word to you. No, I'm just saying all women.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Women definitely sometimes they'll drink and they get more
Confidence,
confidence.
brave. Yeah.
But I
Being
don't
a
know.
DJ.
I feel that I don't know. I think I'm more of a complete vibe. I just never felt like I was a guy that would that you would see and be like, yeah, I want parts. Like I need to talk to you, and I need you to watch my full special for you to find me attractive.
I think you're so selling yourself short.
I'm not trying to sound like I'm some insecure lame-o. I'm not some insecure, but I'm just saying generally
you don't
speaking,
get objectified.
I do now because of what I do, but it's a different type of objectification.
disagree.
They see me on stage, they see the bright lights, then you look different. But I think like before all the fame, I wasn't the kind
That's
of like
special.
I was before the fame. I was the kind
Title of the memoir.
I'm here.
yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I was the kind of guy that I guess sometimes girls might just see me and be into it. But it was more like when they talked to me and like saw I was funny or whatever, then they would be more into it.
They never said that they want to put you in their pocketbook or.
I get that a lot now.
Oh, okay.
But before, I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
I think so.
How it used to be.
Because I've gotten like back when I was really outside, I've gotten like they want to climb this tree.
But you're like 6'5".
I know, and I get objectified. It's just like, hey, like I'm a nice person. I would like a martini and like to write and stuff. And no, it's just, I want to climb that tree.
But women over sexualize height sometimes.
Man,
where women could see a troll and he's 6'8". And they'll be like, I want to.
I've seen it. I want to climb that tree.
And I'm like, that tree looked like it need to be chopped down.
Like old, like what's the California park, the one that had the big oak trees or whatever? Or the national park.
Yeah,
or is that, I'm thinking Yosemite. One of them. They'd see them and it's just like, yeah, I want to climb that. I'm like, okay.
I know the redwoods.
Yeah.
Yep.
For real.
Well, who cares what happened in the past? All that matters is now you are successful and attractive and have a notebook with things to write and enough money for a martini. So what's stopping you?
But now I'm not out there. Like I'm not outside.
That should be.
What if you and I go to the same bar? We sit at completely different ends with our respective notebooks and see how it goes. And if we need to check it at halftime, that's fine.
But
that's content.
That's unfair because first of all, it depends where the bar is.
I've got some because I am going out. So I'm like, I've got some great cocktail lounges that are up to the caliber. You're going to, catch some fish that are up to your caliber, I'm sure.
All right, hold on. Let's be clear because if I would do this just for the podcast.
This is great content.
You're saying that we can go out to a bar and sit on opposite sides of the bar.
Yeah.
And pretend we don't know each other.
Yeah.
And I have to sit there for how long?
2 hours.
Let's
2
say
hours.
2 hours is, I'm getting drunk if it's 2 hours.
An hour?
Let's say, I think an hour is fair, and then we check in after an hour. And
okay, let's say I sat there for an hour. Are you saying that within me sitting there for an hour, a woman will approach me?
If you're given the eyes.
But see, now you're adding caveats to it. What are the eyes? What the eyes
Let's just leave it at that. A woman would approach you. This is great content.
No, she put an if in it. So if it doesn't happen, she's going to be like, you didn't give the eyes.
Let's take,
what are the eyes?
Let's take the if out.
I got to be at the bar like this.
Let's take the if out. Let's take the if out.
You're like, yo, that guy's weird as hell.
I know, right? Let's take the if out. This is great. Johan, we got to produce this.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea.
Hell yeah.
It's not going to, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen.
I think you guys got to like last
You
the
too
peak
busy for
hours
me?
though.
No, I'm saying like that, like what you think is going to happen is not, like I've sat at bars before by myself.
We got to go to like the boathouse in Central Park.
With this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm thinking of this very specific cocktail bar.
Nothing too hip. Like,
No.
Because if it's hip, they're going to know. It's like, oh my God, it's Ian. Like you can't go somewhere that's too hip. It has to be like off the beaten path.
No, I want to go, where people are down to talk to people.
Yeah.
I think because you're a girl, you have a false.
Yeah, I think that might be.
You have a false idea of reality.
In the best way possible.
We won't know till we test it.
Exactly. Not in a bad way.
That's in the best way possible.
I think you're used to getting approached a lot, and you're more forward in that you might give somebody the eyes or approach them. So you think that's generally happening, but it's not. You're like in the small percentile of women who do this.
God, if you could see yourself the way I see you, I'm telling you.
You're like a motivational speaker.
I know. I'm like, you're super cute. You're successful. Like, what's wrong? What's the problem?
What? Down and out.
Call in if you think I'm sexy as fuck. We'll take some calls next week. 347-378-9423.
Yeah.
If you think I'm sexy as fuck and I'm selling myself short, call in.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
I think
like
there's
the old radio
I think there's like truth to what both of you guys are saying. Like,
You think I'm cute?
No, I'm saying like personally, like the times that I've like gone up to a girl to like hit on them and like it's probably not. It's like more times than not, it hasn't worked out.
No,
like,
if you do it,
yeah.
if you do it enough amount, you're not gonna be. It's gonna be baseball numbers, right? If you do it, if you do it 10 times, you succeed 3 times, you're an all-star.
That's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you're in the Hall of Fame.
But even when I'm like because I go to a lot of like concerts and like festivals and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
but
like,
you be on Molly.
Well, not all the time, but like when most of the time like that I do end up like talking to a girl, like dancing with a girl, like probably 8 times out of 10, they usually always come up to me because I feel like what Carmen was saying, like most of the time, like I'll just be there like dancing like by myself and like vibing out. And they see like, okay, this guy's like,
but that's natural geographic.
He be partying. No, he be partying with the whimsical hoes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They be coming through with like,
and it's like, oh my god, he's in such a vibe.
Nah, that's the whimsical
come on,
hoes.
man.
But that's the reality. Like
that's like a mating dance, bro.
Right.
I know you're from Arizona. You know about that.
I'm trying to think. What's the most overt women? I mean, because I've had obviously. Through comedy, I've had crazy
stories.
Yeah, situations where they've come up to me and just been fully crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think what's the most overt, like didn't know who I was and did that.
I mean, back in my day when I was actually like outside, I had a situation happen where it was just like, you know when you're in that zone, like when you. For men, it must be different for women because women, you're basically in the zone anytime you leave your house, right? Because it don't matter how you look or whatever, a guy's gonna approach you. I must imagine that's what I think. But like for a man, there's peaks and valleys, and like that peak definitely comes from when you're doing the right thing in the gym, and like it's depending on what time of the year it is. So like it was one time, just like way back in the day, it was summertime. I think I had just finished running a half marathon. I went into a spot. I was feeling myself. So
you had the medal on though?
Yeah, the confidence was on 3,000. So it was just like I gave that look. The look was reciprocated, and it was just like
a look?
It was more so like yeah, and it was like yeah. It was like all right,
yeah,
that was it.
But you 6'5". I'm not. You could be giving me the look. I can't even see you.
That's true. That's true.
I can't see open niggas.
She was a tall girl too.
Yeah,
a tall woman.
I mean. I feel like everybody talks about the look. This is a concept you hear a lot. But if you bring people in and you're like, what's the look? Nobody knows how
they can't describe it.
Or tell you what it is. Because it's a look. So it's up for your interpretation.
It is.
Some people think they getting the look and the girl's rolling her eyes.
It could go left. It could go left. Yeah.
It ain't the thing. So, Johan, how you be getting turned down?
For what?
Turned down?
Yeah.
I mean,
when you
I feel like it's just a combination of me like not knowing, like not having any game, to be honest. Like I get too nervous and I like go up to a girl and I'm just like, it just goes nowhere.
But dude, I think going up to the girl is like 80% of it.
Right.
That like I don't think you could be like you too nervous if you actually go up to them. Most men won't even go up to them.
They won't.
And I feel like I have a problem where I always tend to like try to go towards the like hottest girl and the
that's
like,
not a problem.
That's a good problem to have.
That's not a problem at all.
Like people will be like introducing me to like girls at shows and I'm just like, dude,
she's
like
too ugly.
Yeah, in my opinion, I'm just like, bro.
I want the girl on stage.
Dude.
Like literally, I'm like, bro, I want that girl and she's like the hottest commodity like in the area.
So what do you go say?
No, I mean, literally it's like a different like thing every time probably. I don't know. I'll just be like go up to them, like introduce myself type thing. I don't know. Like,
well, what's wrong with that? You act like you going up there with a corny joke. I mean, what else could you do other than introduce yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the problem. I'm like shoot like way over my league type thing.
Don't ever think that. Don't ever think that.
I think
you just go.
Like, whatever.
I think you're not shooting enough.
But the funny is,
probably.
We come from the generation where like getting shot down was a badge of honor. Like I remember, first of all, do people even go to the mall? We used to go to the mall and be like, yo, go talk to her, talk to her, like, pen and paper. And she would shoot you down. But then you go back to your boys and they'll clown you, be like, you ain't got no game, and then you gotta get tighter.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound kind of crazy. I don't think I ever have cold turkey bagged a girl's phone number.
Wow.
Shut
really?
up.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, I don't think I ever did it.
No cold calling. Like, hey, how you doing? My name's Ian.
Like straight up. I've been at a bar and maybe spoke to a girl for a while, and at the end maybe got her phone number or her Instagram. But like just go up like, hey, what's up, shorty? You trying to kick it?
Don't do that to me. I'm uncomfortable. What just happened?
So now we've peeled back the cover and there's some other issues that they revealed. But
I'm fronting. But honestly, I never did that only because I don't want to do that. Like I never did it because if I get your number, I'm not gonna hit you up.
No.
So what am I asking for your number?
you're closed off to opportunities, then I think.
You think
He's
so?
a Virgo.
I'm not gonna hit you up. Like I don't know you. For me to hit you up, I gotta know you. Like I gotta want to talk to you. I didn't speak to you, so why would I want to?
So you never pulled on the train before?
Never.
I pulled one time on the train, and it was a nightmare. Like she turned out to be like a sociopath, like kind of crazy, and it was just like, what am I doing? But like at the same time too, it's like I had never done that before. It was like staring and like, you know, we grew up in New York City, so you stare at somebody, like you said, it's just like, what's this? Yo, you got a problem, B? And that's how ladies approach it. So I'm just like, all right, but then like just staring reciprocated, and I was just like, you know what? I have to at least try. So I'm just, hi, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So we ended up exchanging numbers and we ended up hanging out. And then it was just a bunch of lies. It was just like, oh yeah, I live here, but I don't live here. It's just like, okay, that's red flag number one. Number two is just like, yeah, so like, let's go out. And then like, all right, so we set a time. And then like, we set the time. It's just like, oh, I'm going to run late. And then next thing you know, it's 2-3 hours late. I'm like, this is like 2013, like before Uber and everything like that. So like, you have to pay for yellow cabs and things. It's crazy.
All right, I'll say this. I just think I need more of a genuine connection. with people.
So female adulterers who are interested in Ian, which I know there are because I'm on the Instagram account. So it's not just him who's seen those, but listen to what we're hearing. Build rapport in a conversation. I think it sounds like you would appreciate being reached out to. Maybe not sexually explicit right away, because it sounds like your game is not maybe there. So try and build some rapport with Ian.
They should just be very forward like they usually are and say that they want Ian. No, they want to sit on Ian's face. And that's what I get the messages. And then I'll forward them to Ian.
But then maybe ask him how his week is too. And he'll feel comfortable. And then once he talks, you'll be fine.
What's the show?
Am I a bad bitch?
Yeah. For the love of Ian.
A bad bitch is hot?
As in like a girl who is unapproachable.
Yeah.
You do give that energy, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm
not
going to lie to you. What the fuck? Like...
I've been giving off this energy this whole time. No, you know what's crazy? People have told me I give off that energy.
You do.
For the love of Ian. VH1, hello.
Whoa.
I'm here. He gives off bad bitch vibes.
Bachelor.
No, the captain.
You would be the Bachelor on a cruise ship. You would be so good because your feedback would be so direct with these women. I'm not going to lie, you're being annoying as hell, and I'm done with this conversation.
Your nails look terrible.
You need to work on your oral health. Yeah. You talk a lot, but I don't think you brush enough for the amount that you talk.
The craziest comment I saw on the internet today was somebody calling a woman a high calorie woman. I feel like that's something that you would say.
A high what?
A high calorie woman?
That's funny.
Too high calorie.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little high calorie,
That's what I'm saying, but that's something that you would say.
Would you ever date a fan, Ian?
Huh?
Would you ever date a fan? Like somebody who's a fan of your comedy?
You ever heard of Stan from Eminem?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
That was a guy.
Exactly.
Stan was a guy. Yeah, I would. It depend what the energy was.
Right.
But I would.
If they came up to you at first, like fanning out.
Look, any girl that starts off as a fan, once she dates me, she won't be anymore. So I don't got to worry about that. She gonna be like, you think you so funny? I'm like, I thought you thought I was funny.
That's why we started.
Yeah. Like, no.
I saw you at a show.
So I have had girls say that I give that off. What do you think about that? About me gives that off? Because I'm not that at all. Like, I'm a very personable guy.
Yeah, you're just a little intimidating.
I'm like mysterious.
Yeah, you give a little mysterious and guarded.
Interesting. Why? What is that?
But you know what? I haven't been in a cocktail bar with you. We're in a workspace. So.
No, but I've been told that before by like a lot of people, not just one.
I don't know if you've got maybe shyer energy. I don't know, but maybe it's the New York in you too, because I'm from the Midwest. So we're like walking through, we're like, hi, so nice to meet you. Like, I'm Carmen. Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah.
That gets you shot out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some of the waitresses at the Comedy Cellar. They was telling me that, and we're all like super cool now because I'm mad personable. But they were just like, before we all became cool, they were like that. I always seem so standoffish. Like,
yeah, you give a little bit of that.
Like, and I was like, hi. I come by, I say hi, and I go. But like, I noticed that other guys, they come by and they like, where's my hug? And you know those.
I'm not a big hug guy.
I'm not that.
I'm not a big hug guy. That feels like
I don't mind a hug. I'll give you. I don't mind a hug, but I'm not asking for one.
I'm a handshake guy.
I'll shake your hand too. I don't ask for. I'm not asking for a hug, but I'll give you one if you need it.
No guy ever needs to be asking waitresses.
Where's my hug?
Especially, where's my hug?
At least you're like, you're a decent size where it's just like, okay, it's not like threatening. But like, I have friends, especially like when I was at school. No, for real,
I'm a decent size.
Yeah, I have friends that were at school, like big offensive linemen that they just like would go and just,
high calorie niggas.
Yeah, the high calorie niggas. They would just go.
Title.
Yeah, they would just go and start hugging their friends and then picking them up, and I'm like, bro, you are too big and too black to be doing that, bro.
Yeah, way too big and black.
Yeah, take that easy.
Do we have any calls?
Yeah, we got a few.
My name's Brandon. Big listener, big fan. I listen to you guys all the time.
Shout out.
Shout out, Brendan.
Shit. I had a question about how to navigate a hinge date, a situation. I'm going on a first date with this beautiful 5'11" pale white girl. I'm excited. But hear me out. So her idea for the first date was to play one-on-one, a game of one-on-one basketball.
She's trying to emasculate.
Now hear me out. I'm 6'1".
5'11".
She is 5'11", so I got a couple inches on her. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, what if I lose? Like, if I lose, I got to buy the first round. But if I win, should I go ahead and buy the first round? Should I be a gentleman? Should I mean, some women, they don't want, don't open the door for me. Like, don't do this, don't do that. Like, we want fair and square. What do I do? How do I navigate a win or a loss on a first date when it is a competitive contact sport such as basketball? I don't know what I'm going to do. Hear me out. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll be out.
First of all, shout out Brendan.
Shout out.
Calling and
For
listening, and we appreciate the support.
Of course.
First of all, there should be no world where you win, I believe. I think you should lose on purpose.
On purpose.
And buy the first round. Lose, but lose in a way that she knows you're losing on purpose. So she sees that you're not a psychopath who needs to win at every single thing.
Mind melts.
You dig. So what you do is, when you're playing this game of one-on-one, you score like 1 or 2 points very easily to let her know that you can. And then you just start shooting from far.
You temper it off.
Yeah, and let her win. What are you gonna? How do you think the date is gonna go?
You're gonna
if
post
you
her
bust
up.
her ass.
Yeah, you're gonna post her up.
How do you think the game is gonna go if you beat her 11-zip?
Regardless, you're buying the first round.
Easily.
Right. Like, yeah.
Well, you think she gonna have a good time if she's on the floor because you posted her up and she went through the wall?
Do you think this is love and basketball? Like, you're gonna play for her heart? Like, what do you think this is?
No, you be all cutesy and let her win.
You make it fun.
Yeah, make it fun. Be like, oh, babe, you too good. I got the first round.
But what if she takes it a little too serious? Like, what if she elbows him and breaks his nose and then he has to put on the face mask? Because it sounds like she's not playing. Like, 5'11", and like she suggested basketball. She's trying to like.
She could have been an AAU.
Yeah.
He should just let her go. Let her score.
Just let her win.
Let her score.
Yeah.
That's.
See, I as a female, I'm like 5'11". She wants to play basketball. She sounds like she played growing up, and I think she could be like, this guy's a pussy if he's.
Lets me win.
What you do is, this happened to me on a boat, but instead of with a
she wanted to play basketball?
No, instead of it with a beautiful 5'11" girl, it was with a 11-year-old 4'11" guy. So we was playing basketball, which I used to play. I don't really play like that anymore, but we was playing basketball, and he was like kind of busting all the other kids' ass, like, because they was like a little smaller than him, and then he wanted to play me. So
He thought you were competition.
yeah. So I was in sandals and he was like in full basketball headband, sleeve.
Yeah.
So he was in full basketball gear and I was like, all right, like I played them. I gave him the ball first. Like he tried to like pump fake, like because he was pump faking, they was all jumping, and he tried to do that to me. I was like, bro, I said, I'm not like a little kid. Like it's not gonna work. He did it like a couple times. He tried to dribble past. I just tipped the ball. I got it.
Damn.
I made him check it up. I just took it and like he was 11. Like I literally just went in and just scored. Like I just scored. He just flew back, and he and. Then I just let him play. Then I let him win. Then I just let him shoot. I wouldn't play deep. Like I let him win. I wasn't gonna beat up on an 11-year-old kid. I just wanted to show him that if I wanted to, I could. You know. But then I just let him score. Let him win. That's what you need to do with her. Do one play where you show her place.
Bro, 5'11", 6'1", that's not too much of a difference. I think she's like trying to cook him up.
I think she's not fucking around.
She's not fucking around. Like
also, it's like that takes a special type of woman. I'm like, you're gonna watch me sweat and act masculine on a first date. Like this girl is an athlete.
Yeah, I think you're dating a man. 5'11" though, regardless of the height, she's still not a guy.
But she's not a guy, and 5'11", 5'11".
She's not strong. She's not as strong as like a guy is.
5'11" and 6'1". If the date goes
we don't know
well,
any information.
That's you can breed a D1 athlete with that.
Say that.
I went. My high school was nationally ranked. Like we had a nationally ranked boys and girls basketball team. The girls team was first in the country, like the best. We had the Gatorade Player of the Year at my school, who then went on to become an Olympian. Her name was Tina Charles.
Shout out to Tina Charles.
Super nice. I went to high school with her. She's a year older than me.
Okay.
And I was on varsity B. And I remember one time, like the girls were like scrimmaging or whatever, and the guys varsity B, they was like, oh, like they was the best in the country, and they was like, come like scrimmage us for like a little bit, half court, like 3-on-3, guys versus girls. And these are tall girls. And like they did not score. Like they just didn't score. And they couldn't guard the guy. I mean, the guy was just so much stronger.
But we don't know anything about these two's physical condition.
But he's 6'1". He's not.
But he could be 6'1" in a pencil, and she could be 5'11" and do high
calories. No, he said she was beautiful and pale. I know what she looks like.
She could be high calorie.
Yeah.
Nah, she ain't.
Nah, she's not high calorie.
She's thin, but she could be yoked.
But
you never really see a pale high calorie.
Like a CrossFit kind of girl, right? At the same time, too, what I was going to say is that you got to think strategically about this.
Yeah, who cares? Let them win.
Yeah, let them win, but think about long term. Like if this date goes well, because we're talking about high school basketball, this is a great segue. I was DJing at the Jordan Holiday Invitational for the top high school teams in not only the tri-state area, but across the country, Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania and stuff. And like, it was very eye-opening to me because it was like not only millions, but billions of dollars in there. And it was one of those events where like, if your kid isn't being invited to if your kid plays high school sports and they're not being invited to like this kind of event, like this level of event and competition, maybe you should tell them to invest in like learning something, like learning another skill, learning, being a plumber or something. Because like these kids, I'm talking about like 14, 15-year-old going through the legs.
Yeah. No, I want to do a similar event, but I want to call it the LinkedIn Invitational.
Boom.
Where
trademark.
You get a bunch of kids who think they're going to play professional sports. And what I teach them is how to set up their resume.
Yes. 401k.
Yeah, and invest for long term.
We should.
I think we should do that. And we could make that an event. Maybe you could DJ.
I'll DJ.
And we could have a projector where I can be like, this is how you do a cover
resume.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will benefit from that.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of parents are telling their kids this.
They're not being realistic.
Yeah. I think it's too much follow your dreams and not too much learn how to do a cover letter.
Learn a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my takeaway from that event. So 6'1", 5'11", invest. You can have a kid 6'7".
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's one thing. Like you guys got to start breeding like how they do horses. 2 elephants don't make a giraffe. You take 2 stallions and then you make them breed, and then you know that the horse is gonna be like a racer too.
Champion breed.
And I feel like that's the same thing with Brennan. He's 6'1", she's 5'11". His kid gonna be like 6'6". So you worrying about who could beat each other. What you need to be worrying about is procreating with this other specimen. That if she's 5'11" and can play ball,
and her first date,
he's 6'1" and can play ball. Now we're talking NBA. At least D1 college.
Her first date was a basketball date. Come on, son.
At least D1 college.
I like this girl.
Strategy.
She's not fucking around.
Strategy.
Yeah.
Adulthood.
And tell her to listen to the Adulthood podcast.
You're welcome.
That's volume 94. Sunday, January 26th, coming at you live. Thank you guys for listening. I gotta run.
Are we gonna do something for 100?
We're inching up on 100.
Knocking on 100's door.
We're inching up on 100. Yeah, maybe we'll do something. We'll think of something.
Yeah, good idea.
100th ep, baby.
Woo!
We're building. Don't forget, tell your friends about the Adulthood podcast. Tell y'all, people being stingy with the Adulthood pod. They love it. They listen to it every week. They're subscribers, but they not spreading the news.
Spread it. We're loose.
I like it when people come up to me like, oh, I had no idea who you were. I didn't know you existed. I thought you was a nobody. But then my friend told me, listen to this podcast, and I started listening and I got hooked. That's what I like to listen.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you enjoy the podcast, continue to spread, continue to tell people to listen, continue to come hang out with us at the Adulthood podcast. I'm me and Lara. It's DJ APM. It's Carmen San Diego.
Carmen Martini.
And Johan de Zohan. Thank you guys. Peace.
Peace.